A brazen thief caught on camera stealing a man's car right out of his driveway.
A thief getting inside a car that's been left running in a driveway and taking off.
For centuries, farmers in the countryside have dedicated their lives to nurturing their crops, caring for their animals, and preserving the simple joys of rural life. But little did they know that this serene existence was about to be shattered by unexpected and brave invasions. Under the cover of night, groups of determined thieves have often crept onto these farmers' properties, with a mission to take what isn't theirs. But what they often overlook was the determination and sheer brilliance of some of the farmers they attempt to rob. Join us as we delve into how farmers have gone to unbelievable lengths to protect their land and livelihood. Number 20, Farmers Strike Back. This clip transports us to Brazil, showcasing an unexpected twist for a group of robbers. A few years back, this footage became quite popular online. It captures a dramatic moment when a couple was about to leave their farm. Out of nowhere, a gang of thieves showed up, aiming for a quick robbery. The attackers quickly descended upon the couple, attempting to scare them. Terrified, the farmer's wife immediately fled back into the house in sheer panic. However, if you thought this would be an easy win for the robbers, you'd be sorely mistaken. They had no clue what awaited them. The woman's husband was armed and ready to defend his family. Like any brave husband, he sprang into action without hesitation. The startled robber quickly jumped back into his vehicle and his gang sped away. Although they escaped unharmed, they undoubtedly learned a crucial lesson. Not on this man's watch. It's curious, but many robbers seem to target women, perhaps thinking they're weaker or less likely to resist. This time, however, their assumption was drastically wrong. Number 19, senior citizen defies expectations. In today's society, there's a widespread belief that elderly people are often weak, fragile, and easy to take advantage of. While you might not share this view, countless others do. Many people think that exploiting older adults is an effortless task. However, there are some seasoned individuals who are far from helpless and definitely not to be joked with. As the old saying goes, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. These strong seniors can surprise anyone who dares to underestimate them, proving that age doesn't always equate to vulnerability. Number 18, ageless hero. This clip perfectly illustrates that age is just a number when it comes to courage and resilience. It went viral in 2019 and shows an incredible moment involving an elderly man at an ATM in his neighborhood. As he was withdrawing some cash, a masked mugger suddenly approached, aiming to steal his money. You might expect the old man to give in easily, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Instead of surrendering his hard-earned money, the old man stood his ground and fought back fiercely. Imagine the shock and embarrassment the mugger must have felt, being challenged by someone he thought would be an easy target. The elderly man, not backing down, even gestured for the mugger to bring it on. But the mugger had had enough by that point and decided to retreat. This clip is a powerful reminder that some people, regardless of their age, have an unbreakable spirit and are ready to defend themselves. That's how a proper beatdown is delivered, showing everyone that you should never underestimate the fight in an old-timer. Number 17, under the van. It's no secret that crime has been steadily increasing in Dallas, Texas. Motorists have to stay constantly vigilant, as it seems many thieves are on the lookout to steal parts from their cars. In August 2022, a man named Clay Hunter experienced this firsthand. Just as he was about to call it a night, he noticed someone acting suspiciously underneath his van. Without a moment's hesitation, Clay grabbed a pole and went to confront the would-be thief. According to reports, the intruder was likely trying to steal Clay's catalytic converter, a car part that can fetch up to $1,500 on the black market. Whatever the thief's plan was, it definitely didn't unfold as he expected. Instead of making a quick getaway with the valuable part, he found himself on the receiving end of Clay's swift and decisive action. This incident is a stark reminder that sometimes criminals can seriously misjudge their targets. Number 16, smash and grab foiled. These days, jewelry stores have become prime targets for petty thieves, and it's easy to see why. Jewelry is incredibly valuable, and getting your hands on some can be a quick ticket to wealth. However, robbing a jewelry store is far from easy. Even if a store doesn't have the best security, the owners might be tougher than expected. Take this incident, for example. A group of thieves tried a quick smash and grab operation at a store in Huntington Beach. They rushed in, smashing showcases to grab whatever they could. But their plan quickly fell apart. The store's attendant sprang into action immediately, fighting back fiercely before the thieves could steal anything. This incident highlights that sometimes The people behind the counter can be the most disturbing obstacle to a successful heist. Evidently, a male employee had been keeping a close eye on the suspicious behavior of the thieves for a while. He noticed 3 men, masked and wearing hoodies, wandering around the store, and he instinctively knew something was missing. Acting on his intuition, he sprang into action before they could make a move. He and his co-worker immediately confronted the would-be robbers, taking swift and decisive action. In the end, the thieves left empty-handed, their only accomplishment being the broken glass from the showcases. Remarkably, the store suffered no significant damage, thanks to the employees' quick thinking and brave intervention. This incident showcases some truly stellar teamwork and vigilance, preventing what could have been a successful robbery. Number 15. Stumbling thieves. Sometimes would-be robbers don't put much thought into their plans. Instead of carefully planning and executing their heist, they simply wing it, letting whatever happens, happen. Unsurprisingly, this approach rarely works out well. Take these individuals, for example. They spotted a motorcycle they liked and decided to steal it from someone's property. Just as they were about to make off with their prize, they were caught red-handed. What happened next was a sharp turn of events. Instead of riding away triumphantly, the thieves were apprehended by a mob of people who took matters into their own hands and gave the robbers a thorough beating. At that moment, the robbers undoubtedly regretted their lack of planning and reckless approach. Their failed attempt at theft serves as a fitting reminder that crime doesn't pay, especially when done so randomly. Number 14. The courageous customer. Sometimes when robbers target a specific location, it's not always the store owners who put up the fight. In some unexpected cases, the customers take on the role of defenders. This is precisely what happened in the next clip. A robber entered a store, likely thinking he could easily intimidate everyone and make off with some loot. However, he encountered a customer who was anything but compliant. This customer, who was in the middle of being served, had a zero-tolerance policy for theft. Without hesitation, they took matters into their own hands and confronted the would-be thief. The situation was further complicated by the fact that it's unclear what the robber was holding as a weapon. Despite this uncertainty, the customer's brave and decisive actions prevented the robbery from progressing. Moreover, it appeared that the robber lacked enthusiasm for his own ill-conceived plan. He seemed almost disinterested in the crime he was attempting to commit. Eventually, the store's owner found themselves with little to do, as the determined customer was more than a match for the unmotivated thief. Overwhelmed by the customer's assertiveness, the robber left the store empty-handed. It was evident that the woman had no patience for having her shopping experience disrupted. Despite the chaos, she maintained her composure and courage, effectively stopping the robbery. Her actions undoubtedly merit recognition. She is a strong contender for the title of Customer of the Year. Her bravery and quick thinking turned a potentially dangerous situation into a testament to the power of everyday heroes. Number 13. Unlikely hero. There's something inherently peaceful about people going about their daily routines, not bothering anyone around them. However, it's important to recognize that many of these seemingly ordinary individuals are perfectly capable of standing their ground when necessary. And when they do, the results can be quite dramatic. Take this next clip, for instance. It features a man in northwest Harris County who was simply mowing his lawn. According to reports, he noticed some individuals attempting to steal equipment from a truck parked a few houses down. As the thieves drove by, they even tried to hit him with their car. What follows is a testament to the unexpected strength and resilience that people can display when faced with adversity. This man, engaged in the mundane task of lawn mowing, suddenly found himself in a confrontation that highlighted his bravery and quick thinking. It's a brilliant reminder that beneath the calm surface of everyday life, there's often an undercurrent of readiness to defend and protect. In an unexpected turn of events, the man swiftly struck back with his weed whacker. Determined to defend his neighborhood, he charged towards the vehicle, wielding the tool with impressive vigor. However, noticing one of the thieves had fallen out of the car, he redirected his efforts and confronted the prone individual. Ignoring calls to remain on the ground and threats from the angry man holding the weed eater, the criminal stubbornly refused to comply. Despite this resistance, the suspect, identified as Jarrell, was eventually arrested and taken into custody. This dramatic scene, where a would-be thief was caught by a quick-thinking homeowner armed with a weed trimmer, underscores the unpredictable nature of such encounters. The image of the suspect, struck down by an unlikely weapon, is a vivid reminder of how ordinary people can rise to extraordinary challenges, turning the tables on criminals in the most unexpected ways. Number 12. The Legend of Fawn County. When you see a man in a suit, you might think of him as a nerd or someone unlikely to defend himself in a tough situation. To some would-be robbers, such individuals might seem like ideal victims. However, our next clip proves how misleading appearances can be. This incident occurred in Fawn County in late 2023. It captures a dramatic moment when two men approached another man in front of his own home, intending to steal his car. One of the robbers even sprayed the man with a substance to incapacitate him. But instead of cowering in fear, the would-be victim demonstrated remarkable courage and fought back fiercely. The entire confrontation was captured by the cameras on his Tesla and the security cameras installed in his garage, providing a riveting view of the action. The man in the suit showed an incredible amount of grit and determination, refusing to be victimized. Thanks to his bravery and the assistance of nearby bystanders, he successfully fended off the thieves. This incident is a powerful reminder that true strength often lies beneath the surface, ready to emerge when needed most. Number 11. Family unity strikes back. Many criminals make the grave mistake of entering locations without a clear plan, and unsurprisingly, they often end up facing the consequences of their recklessness. Take this next clip, for example. A man walked into a jewelry store in El Monte armed with nothing but a hammer, seemingly confident in his ability to carry out a quick robbery. What he didn't anticipate was that this was a family-owned store, and the family members were closely knit and ready to defend their livelihood. As soon as he tried to make his move, the family sprang into action, and instead of making off with any valuable items, the would-be thief ended up fleeing the scene, leaving without his shirt. It was a humiliating retreat, marking a bad day for the inept criminal. This incident highlights a broader issue. Theft is a significant problem plaguing retail stores today, with many having to constantly deal with attempts to steal their merchandise. In this case, the family's unity and quick response not only stopped the robbery, but also served as a stark reminder that some targets are far more resilient than they appear. Ensuring order can be particularly challenging when there aren't enough security personnel on hand. However, sometimes Good Samaritan customers step up when it matters the most. This is vividly demonstrated in our next clip. According to reports, this incident took place at a TJ Maxx store in Chicago. Two women entered the store with the intention of looting it. As one of them was attempting to make her escape, a vigilant customer intervened, stopping her in her tracks. This led to a scuffle that quickly drew the attention of everyone in the vicinity. Although the reports confirmed that the woman managed to flee before the police arrived, the scene left a strong impression. It remains unclear exactly what she was trying to steal, but the customer's brave actions undoubtedly disrupted her plans. This slide highlights the critical role that ordinary people can play in maintaining order and stopping crime, even in the absence of ample security. It serves as a reminder that acts of courage and vigilance by everyday individuals can make a significant difference. Whatever the woman intended to take, one can only hope that justice eventually catches up with her. Number 10. Whiskey Whackdown. We witness a dramatic encounter at a liquor store in South Florida. The store owner, vigilant and alert, had noticed a man on the security cameras stealing a bottle of whiskey and another of vodka. Acting swiftly, the owner confronted the thief directly. Wielding a stick, he struck the man and chased him out of the store. The would-be thief didn't stop running until the police were called. Eventually, he was apprehended and arrested. This incident underscores the risks that come with attempting to steal, and it also highlights the determination and courage of store owners protecting their businesses. Number 9. Blast of restriction. According to the person who shared the clip, a clever homeowner devised a clever trap to deter package thieves. This trap is designed to fire shotgun blanks whenever someone attempts to steal a package from his doorstep. While the device only discharges blanks, ensuring no actual harm comes to the would-be thieves, it nonetheless provides a significant shock to them. The idea of these thieves being scared out of their wits brings me immense satisfaction. It's a highly effective way to ensure that no one dares to mess with this homeowner again. The trap not only protects his property, but also delivers a memorable lesson to anyone contemplating theft. This creative solution exemplifies how a bit of ingenuity can turn the tables on criminals, leaving them with nothing but a terrifying experience to remember. Number 8. Bong defense. When faced with the threat of a robbery, most people are willing to defend themselves with whatever they can find. Sometimes the choice of weapon may seem unconventional or impractical, but as long as it serves its purpose, it's all that matters. This mindset must have driven the actions of a man in this clip. In 2018, a cannabis dispensary in Ontario was suddenly robbed. The owner, initially taken by surprise, quickly regained his composure. In a swift and unexpected move, he grabbed a bong to defend himself and his co-worker. At first glance, using a bong as a defensive weapon might seem like a poor choice. However, in this instance, it proved to be effective. Rather than seeing his store looted, the owner stood his ground, wielding the bong as if ready for a serious round of batting practice. His quick thinking and readiness to use whatever was at hand turned the tide, preventing the robbers from making off with any goods. Number 7. Granny, the guardian angel. At times, the security you need can come from the most unexpected sources, as perfectly demonstrated in our next clip. In this instance, a grandmother discovered that some men were attempting to rob a store in her neighborhood. Instead of ignoring the situation and walking away, she took immediate action. Without hesitation, she sprang into action, chasing the burglars down and sending them fleeing from the area. In less than a minute, she arrived on the scene, disrupting the robbery attempt, and ensured the safety of the shop. This granny is the perfect example of the type of neighbor everyone needs: brave, vigilant, and ready to protect the community. Her swift response and fearlessness serve as a reminder that courage knows no age limit, and sometimes the most unlikely heroes can emerge in times of need. Number 6. Heroic stand against carjackers. If you owned a car, you treasured it a lot, especially when vehicle prices were skyrocketing. Anyone lucky enough to have a car would surely have done everything they could to protect it. Occasionally, safeguarding your car meant throwing caution to the wind, just like this guy did. In the surveillance clip, we saw the man arriving home from work, looking forward to unwinding. Suddenly, an SUV pulled up next to his car, with potential carjackers ready to strike. As soon as he realized what was happening, the man sprang into action, entering defense mode. But he was relieved that he came out of this ordeal unscathed. With one wrong move, the situation could have taken a dangerous turn. This incident served as a stark reminder of the lengths people would go to protect their possessions, especially something as valuable as a car. Number 5. A mother's shocking rage. When it comes to stealing on farms, it seems that farmers aren't the only ones keeping a watchful eye. Even the animals are alert and protective of their own. It's a basic law of nature that mothers will go to great lengths to protect their offspring. And when you try to steal a calf from a cow, you better brace yourself for the mother's fury. In this clip, we witness a moment when someone trespassed onto a dairy farm and attempted to take one of the calves. Needless to say, the mother cow was far from pleased. She was ready to do whatever it took to defend her child, and I can completely understand her sentiment. Number 4. Defiant defender. In 2019, there was a sudden intrusion into a jewelry store by 2 men attempting to rob it. Their method was rather typical. They barged in, wielded a sledgehammer to shatter the showcases, and attempted to snatch whatever valuables they could before being apprehended. However, they hadn't accounted for the resilience of the storekeeper. Without hesitation, the storekeeper sprang into action upon realizing the threat. Despite his older age and lacking any means of defense, he bravely confronted the burglars head-on. With sheer determination, he rushed towards them, pushing them back outside and preventing them from pilfering anything from his store. Though it appeared that the storekeeper may have been struck during the struggle, fortunately, he emerged unharmed. The satisfaction of successfully safeguarding his store against the intruders must have been immeasurable at that moment. It's a testament to his courage and dedication to protecting his livelihood. Number 3. Manager foils elderly robbery. In a heartwarming display of humanity, we witness an incident that unfolded in West Hollywood. A man attempted to prey on an elderly individual in a public setting, hoping for a quick theft. However, the restaurant's manager reacted swiftly to the unfolding situation. Without hesitation, the manager sprang into action, rising from his seat and pursuing the perpetrator before he could make his escape. The chase spilled onto the street, but the manager's girlfriend and another bystander joined in, assisting in both recovering the stolen items and subduing the culprit until the authorities arrived. Thankfully, the elderly man emerged from the ordeal unharmed physically, though undoubtedly shaken by the experience. Number 2. Gas station showdown. In this clip, we witness a situation where a man attempting to rob a gas station ended up facing far more than he anticipated. The footage reveals that the man initially entered the station under the guise of purchasing beer. However, upon reaching the checkout, his behavior became suspicious. Reports suggest that the man may have been armed with a knife, But this detail did not deter the clerk. It turns out the clerk was an ex-Marine, equipped with the skills and composure necessary to handle the situation with minimal difficulty. The clerk swiftly knocked the blade out of the man's hand, causing him to flee from the store in a hurry. Dealing with the situation was a piece of cake, if you ask me. At the end of the day, it's common knowledge that theft is a criminal act. I sincerely wish that everyone could recognize this and refrain from engaging in it. However, for those who persist, there is some reassurance in knowing that many potential victims won't simply surrender and allow themselves to be taken advantage of. Number 1. Bank robber meets his match. According to reports, a farmer was on her way home from the bank when a thief decided to snatch her cell phone. However, things didn't go as he had planned. The woman, far from being an easy target, stood her ground fiercely. She fought back with surprising strength, pushing the would-be thief into submission. In the end, he realized he had made a huge mistake and ran off, utterly defeated and humiliated. His attempt had backfired spectacularly, leaving him to regret ever underestimating her. What are your thoughts on these horrible clips? Please let us know your opinion in the comment section. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give a thumb up and subscribe to the channel.